So the first two games of the Timberwolves vs the Nuggets in this second round series has been interesting to say the least, and to slow down this Nikola Jokic led offense is hard enough, but then when you're able to score efficiently against them as well, it shows you that this team is locked in on a whole nother level. Like seriously, I'm not playing whatsoever. In game 1 and 2, Minnesota held the Nuggets to shooting 46% from the field, while they did have some success shooting from deep, shooting 41%, but in game 2, they shut everything down, holding the Nuggets to 34% shooting from the field and a low 30% from deep. Yeah, just ridiculous, right? When you get a defense that is this focused and not letting their opponents get easy looks, it can totally shut an offense down. When the guards try and take it right at the bigs, well, good luck, as Reed can move his feet to stay with Murray on this ISO, and after Murray thinks he has the space to go up after the bump, Reed totally deletes the shot. As you watch these games, you can see that the Wolves have put the Nuggets in a chamber, as Gordon thinks he can ISO out just like Murray, but with the smothering defense from Alexander Walker, when Gordon finishes off this spin move to the basket, McDaniels is aware of what's going on already, rotating over, and now this finish at the rim is way too difficult. When you get a team that's all balled in and in sync on the defensive end, making every possession tough, that's where you get these possessions where they can take away the initial drive, recover to the kick out, take away the next 3-point attempt as well, and when it ends up in the hands of a not so great 3-point shooter, this is exactly what they want. Trust me, defense is something you have to work hard at, as if one player is sleeping, it can ruin the whole scheme, but this Wolves team is highly focused right now. They're simply connecting on all cylinders, and with the task of guarding arguably the best player in the world, when you want to limit Jokic to getting easy buckets, well, you're going to need to send big bodies at him who can absorb that contact and hold their ground. So with Jokic not being able to get as deep as he wants in the paint here, he's forced into taking his mid-range fade over the top, which clanks off the back of the rim to go the other way. Not only will Gobert make it tough for Jokic, but Cat will also bang with him in these post-up actions, and now since Rudy has the ability to help off Gordon to deter Jokic from going up, this turnaround fade is exactly what they want, which results in another miss. Since the Wolves have many bodies they can throw at Jokic, this allows Rudy to roam around a lot more since Gordon isn't a threat unless he's around the basket. So with Reed fronting Jokic on the century pass, Murray is going to throw it over the top, but Rudy is right there waiting for it and can rotate over to tip this pass, forcing a turnover, and now the runway for Naz Reid is clear for takeoff. It's honestly rare that you see Jokic be this bothered when he gets inside, as usually if he gets away from his defender, then he can just coast in for 2 points. But with the second big and Cat aware of what's going on, Jokic should have kicked it out to the corner for the wide open 3-ball, but since that doesn't happen and he clashes with Towns in the air, the level of difficulty on this finish becomes that much harder, and now he's called for a traveling violation after catching his own air ball. Yeah, you probably can't show me something like that happening to Jokic in recent memory. Just like on this play here, we never really see Jokic get so sped up that he ends up dishing out passes while falling out of bounds, and although this 3-point attempt is a clean look for KCP, McDaniels was able to get out there to get a good contest, and off the rim the ball bounces. During game 1, we saw multiple times where Rudy and Cat posed a challenge for Jokic to finish at the rim better than any other team in the league has done, and even when lengthy defenders like Jaden McDaniels switch on to Jokic when he puts his head down to drop the ball, the contact may have initially created some space, but that long swipe at the ball is enough to knock it off the leg of Jokic, resulting in another turnover for Denver. It was truly a lot of key things that the Wolves did to make it a grind out night for Jokic despite him having 32 points in game 1, and for probably one of the life-sucking ones of all, is when the Nuggets run their signature pick and roll play with Murray and Jokic while Gordon cuts back door. The Wolves play it perfectly by hounding Jamal Murray, forcing him to go away from the screen, and with Rudy knowing the pass is going to Jokic, he rotates over to stop any thought of a floater, but at the same time, he understands that now Jokic will go for the lob over the top to Gordon on the backside, so he only stunts at Jokic to then lunge backwards to break up this entire play. Yeah, talk about some soul-crushing defense. But it wasn't just them only making life hard for Jokic on the offensive end, because when trying to create space for the jumper off this screen, Cat releases off Jokic to take away this mid-range jumper for Murray. And for Minnesota, they're going to live with Cat or whatever big that ends up in this position to just rotate back up to Jokic when the pass is made. With this Nuggets offense based off chemistry and multiple guys connecting on shots from everywhere, when you stick lengthy defenders on Murray who he can't get away from, it ultimately funnels him into tough shots. And when you take away the pass off the pick and roll to Jokic like Cat does here, just completely turning his back to the play, Jackson has no other choice but to keep pushing downhill as McDaniels is breathing on his neck heavy. And now with no outlet to pass it to, he has to go up against the Defensive Player of the Year, and we all know how that ends up. It's really not often we don't see the Nuggets succeed when running these high pick and rolls, as usually bigs will stay connected to Jokic, making Rudy have to slide over to the middle to stop the drive. But since Reed is able to help on this drive, and Watson doesn't want to cut into the space to Gobert, Jackson kicks it out to the corner since he's in a swarm of defenders, and with a poor 3-point shooter, Rudy's contest is just laughable. Everybody say it with me: defense, defense, defense. defense wins championships. But hold on. There's one more thing to it. Once you play solid defense, well, now it's time for you to capitalize on that with some efficient offense, and boy oh boy have the Wolves done that. In game 1, the Wolves shot 52% from the field and 40% from deep, and in game 2, they shot 50% from the field and 39% from deep. So yeah, to put it in simplest terms for me, you, and everyone else to understand, the Timberwolves have been cooking. With Jokic on Anderson here, Cat is going to tell Kyle to go screen for Ant, which will pull Jokic out the paint, so now when the ball is sent to Cat, he can attack the rim aggressively right past Murray, and Jokic just poses no threat on this bucket in close. Since Nikola isn't a scary defender inside, guys will take it right at him off these screens, and since Gordon is on Cat who can shoot the 3-ball well, he can only help over so much, and now Edwards can get crafty with his finish on the other side of the rim. Now the exact follow up to why it's so crucial that Gordon doesn't help over so much when guarding Cat is because when he gets back screened on this play, Jokic is stuck in quicksand in the paint, Cat is wide open with nothing but time, and the 3-pointer is straight cash. It's more than important that the Nuggets find shooters on the floor and also don't allow for Murray to end up on bigger guys like Cat, or else you're pretty much just giving up free buckets. If you ask me, it's like the Wolves are more poised and calculated, just getting any look they want on the court, which then just leaves this Nuggets defense defeated. When you have to guard a guy like Anthony Edwards, well, his gravity is going to pull multiple defenders towards him, and this time he's able to get both of Denver's big men out the paint, so when he drops it off to Gobert, who catches in the middle of the floor, Murray slides over, KCP makes his way to the corner, and bada bing, Cat is now wide open, and we already know what happens next. When you have a player like Edwards who can draw so much attention, it opens up many angles and looks for other guys to either attack or shoot the ball, so when he kicks it out to Walker on this play, Reggie Jackson has to close out hard, which then allows Nall to push downhill, and with some little shot creation on that spin move, the floater drops right through the net. I'm telling you, every team needs a guy who can force the defense to double at times, because then it forces them into a scramble mode, and now with Cat able to race to the rim uncovered, all he has to do is find a way to finish once he gets close to the basket. It's already hard enough to stop Edwards and force the ball out his hands, but once you do, it's best that you don't let other guys get going, because that's when life becomes even more difficult. When Cat starts heating up, he'll bully smaller defenders on his way to the rim to go score. The two bigs can work together and expose any defensive lapse from the Nuggets for a gimme at the rim. And even when you don't expect it, Mike Conley will serve you that in and out to get downhill and then score inside. So try all you want to get it away from Edwards, but the other Wolves players will take full advantage and make themselves valuable. But hey, let's not sit here and act like getting the ball out of Ant's hands is the easiest thing to do and that shutting him down won't be difficult. So far through these 2 games, Ant is averaging 35 points on 60% shooting from the field and 36% from deep. His confidence is truly through the roof right now as he's staring defenders down before pulling up in their face. He's showing his patience and strength by using the grown man back down to get easy buckets at the rim. And when he's aware that you're playing him up too high with no rim protection down low, well, that's where this cut to the basket comes in handy and you're left watching him lay it in. If people have been asleep, well, by now they're certainly awake, as Ant is one of the most electrifying players in the playoffs so far. There's literally not a move he doesn't have in his bag when he wants to get to the rim. He can lock in on defense and send shots back when you try to finish. With his accuracy, he can load up the clip and snipe you from deep, or get crafty in that in-between area to sink the bucket. And with his vision on the court improving every game, he can find his guys on the floor for them to go put points on the board. As the T-Wolves have won up 2 games on the reigning champs, they're showing everyone that they are not meant to be taken lightly, and if so, well, they're just going to steamroll you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.